Welcome to the Read Out Loud at the Greater Fall River Children's Museum. My name is Jody Woodward, and I'm so honored and grateful to be here. Big shout out to Miss Joanne, who is going to be doing a sensory project after I read my book. And thank you to BCC Community TV for inviting me here today. So my name is Jody Woodward, and I grew up here in Fall River. I grew up on Wiedemo Street. And when I was about 13 years old, my big sister, gave me a subscription to 17 magazine. And in it had the sun salutation, which is a yoga pose. And I started to practice it. And boy, did I feel really good. I felt peaceful, I felt calm, I felt strong, and I felt patient, which I need to practice patience. So I've been practicing yoga for a very, very long time. Jump ahead a few years, I was visiting my brother and his wife and my little nephew Charlie, who came home from school, and Charlie had a drawing. And in the drawing, he said, "These are the voices in my head, and this is what they're saying." Oh boy, Mom was a nurse. She looked a little worried about that. And I said, "Oh no, that's called the monkey mind in yoga. The busy mind that is always jumping around from thought to thought. I want this, I want that." And so I said, "Oh, that would be a wonderful story for children." And so I thought, well, maybe I could have Charlie color it. And eventually, I actually decided, it was actually right after 9/11, I said, it's time to do that book, because we all have a lot of monkeys in our head worrying about all the crazy things that go on in our head and in the world. So I set out to ask someone to illustrate the book for me, because I didn't have enough confidence at that time to do my own, because I didn't get to go to art school, but I always liked to color. Do you like to color? It's really fun. That's another way to calm monkey mind. And so my friend, who's a great artist, she said, "You can color." I said, "Really?" And sometimes that's what we find. We find a great teacher in our life, or a mom, or a dad, or a caretaker, who believes and says, "Yes, you can do that." And then all it takes is practice. What happens when we practice? We practice, and we get better. So that's how I got the idea to do this book. And it's called 7 Little Monkeys. Yes. Okay, because, do you like monkeys? I love monkeys. But monkeys are always jumping around. I want the banana, I want this, I want that. I want to go to the museum. I want to go to the park. I want to stay home and watch TV. So that's, in yoga, is called the monkey mind. So what we have here is, I'm going to turn on one page. It's going to tell you for the reader what it says. So yoga is a way to exercise our bodies, to exercise and focus our minds, and we do that through a deep belly breathing. So we're going to practice some deep belly breathing, and we're going to practice our monkey minds through deep belly breathing. Yes, so in the book it tells a little bit about the monkey mind, which we talked about. It means the busy, chattering, overthinking, overoccupied mind. In the book it tells us how to take a deep belly breath, and it tells us not only what yoga means, but yogis. A boy who practices yoga is called a yogi, and a girl who practices yoga is called a yogini. And then we do namaste. And namaste is a Sanskrit word, and it means to honor and see the best in all of us. Sometimes monkey mind gets so caught up in what's wrong, it forgets about what's right. And so when we focus our minds on what's right, we feel better. Okay, so that's what we're going to do a little bit about. Are you ready to read the story? Yes, okay, good. So let's count how many monkeys we have jumping in our head. What number is this? 7, that's right. We'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 little monkeys jumping in my head. They were raising quite a ruckus, and I get to bed. Daddy called the yogi, and the yogi said, "If you have monkeys in your head and other woeful woes, you must breathe deeply," it is said, "down to your very toes." Let's all wiggle our toes. Everybody wiggle your toes. And breathe in slowly through your nose until it fills a big round belly. And exhale through the mouth. And with it go, those monkeys, oh so silly. Will you take a deep belly breath with me, everybody? Inhale through your nose, big belly, exhale through your mouth, and go to bed. That's it. Or rest our head. How many monkeys now? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What, you say 6? That's right, you're so smart. 6 little monkeys jumping in my head. They were fussing and fighting, and I couldn't get to bed. Can you make a fussing and fighting face? You ever feel like fussing and fighting? I feel like fussing and fighting sometimes, yeah. But guess what? Mommy called the yogini, and the yogini said, "Take a deep belly breath. Join me. Inhale through your nose. Big belly. Exhale through the mouth. And go to bed. Or at least rest your head." Silly monkey. How many monkeys now? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you say? Yes, you're so smart. 5 little monkeys jumping in my head. They were acting downright silly, and I couldn't get to bed. Yes, so silly. It's fun to be silly. Daddy called the yogi, and the yogi said, "Take a deep belly breath." Please join me. Inhale through the nose. Fill the belly. Exhale through the mouth. And go to bed. Very nice. Oh, you're doing a great job. Oh, silly me. I'm having a tough time turning the page. I wish you were here to help me. Okay, how many monkeys now? Let's count. 1, 2, yes, that's right. 3, 4. 4 little monkeys jumping in my head. They were feeling mighty frightened. I couldn't get to bed. Do you ever feel frightened? I feel frightened. It also means to feel scared. Sometimes I feel scared. Sometimes I watch TV, there's crazy things on TV, on the news, and I feel scared. And guess what? Mommy calls the yogini, and yogini says whenever we feel scared, take a deep belly breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill that belly. Exhale through the mouth. And go to bed. Or rest our head. Oh, silly book, here we go. 3 little monkeys jumping in my head. They were angry about something, and I couldn't get to bed. Sometimes we see people and they are angry. Sometimes I feel angry. It's okay to feel angry. But guess what? When I feel angry, I remember Daddy called the yogi. And the yogi said, whenever I feel angry before I act, take a deep belly breath. Breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and go to bed. Very good. A relaxed mind's a creative mind. How many monkeys do we have now? Ooh, look at those 2 little monkeys. 2 little monkeys jumping in my head. They wanted so to cuddle, and I couldn't get to bed. Do you like to cuddle? Who do you like to cuddle with? Sometimes I don't have my kitty. I like to cuddle with my kitty. I don't have my kitty to cuddle with. I can cuddle with myself. And I remember, Mommy calls the yogini, and the yogini says, take a deep belly breath. Inhale, exhale, and go to bed. Very nice. How many monkeys now? One. That's right, one. One little monkey jumping in my head. He didn't have his friends around, and I couldn't get to bed. Do you miss your friends? Yeah, sometimes with the COVID going on, yeah, we can't play with our friends, or we have to wear our mask. Very important, okay? But guess what? Daddy called the yogi, and the yogi said, when we don't have our friends around and we want to cuddle, we can take a deep belly breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth and go to bed or rest our head. Now at last, there are no more monkeys jumping in my head when I practice deep belly breathing. I can finally go to bed. Yeah, we're going to do a little meditation. Meditation in yoga means to focus the mind on one thing, and we're going to focus on our breath. Please join me. Put our hands on our heart, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, but you don't have to close your eyes if it's uncomfortable. But if you are, close your eyes and repeat after me. Be still and know that I am happy. Be still and know that I am kind. Be still and know that I am peaceful. Keep the hands on our heart. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more times. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. 1 more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Now keep the eyes closed, and we're going to breathe and practice smiling. Smiling makes us feel happy. Practice smiling and breathing. Smiling and breathing. Smiling and breathing. And continue smiling and breathing, and I'm going to ring the bells 3 times. Smiling and breathing. Smiling and breathing. Smiling and breathing. And if you're comfortable, put the hands together and just, we could say thank you and namaste if you like, if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable saying that, you can say whatever you like. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope to see you soon. And next is Miss Joanne, who's going to do a sensory bottle activity. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you to Joni for sharing her wonderful book, one of my favorites, 7 Little Monkeys. And in going along with that today, I thought it would be fun for us to do a sensory bottle, something that would be nice to have in your room in the evening when you're trying to settle down. And I have a few examples I'd like to show you, and then we'll make 1 or 2 together. You can gather all kinds of things around your house, vegetable oil, it doesn't have to be a name brand, baby oil, you can get like at the dollar store for $1. And this is interesting, styling gel. Sometimes you may buy something for you're going to use and you never use it. If you look in your bathrooms, you may come across some of those kinds of things. And then craft pieces, you don't need a lot, but maybe you have some beads left from a necklace you made or something like that. Kind of shiny kind of things. Glitter's always good. So just anything you have left over. I had some hearts left from a project from last Christmas, or last Valentine's Day, I should say. So this is a fun one. Maybe you have a child that loves letters or numbers, and I had some leftover letters. There are beads, and I just put in baby oil and half water and a little bit of sparkly things. And children could take and look at the letters and try to make a word, or just enjoy looking at the oil in the water. If you don't, these are fancier bottles I have, but you can use any kind of bottle. This is just recycling a water bottle. In this, we added some vegetable oil and some tap water, and then just put some sparkly things in there. And that would be a nice thing to have when you're trying to fall asleep at night. And this last one I did, I kind of had Valentine's Day. I used some of the hair gel. We happen to have some pink here, and a little bit of the baby oil, and then put some fun kinds of sparkly things in and some hearts in there. And that made a fun one as well. If the children are younger, one thing you may want to do is take some glue and put a little bit of glue into your top. And so when you seal it, it's going to stay sealed. You can use a glue stick if you don't have that. So let's make one together. We'll try this gel. And we'll fill it probably about a third of the way up. And then we're going to add some baby oil to that. And a little bit more. And then think about what we think we'd want to put in here. Maybe we'll use some pipe cleaners, or just cut up little pieces of pipe cleaner. And these are some little jewels. We can add those. And a few more sparklies. And let's see what that looks like. I'll pretend I'm going to put some glue in there so a younger child could use it safely and not open it up again. And there you go. That's how that would come out. So many different ways that you could do that. One more fun thing I'd like to show you along the same lines is we call a lava lamp. And maybe you know somebody who has dentures. The best thing to use for these are some of the effervescent that people use for dentures. But again, they're cheap enough to get at the store. You can just get the store brand. You don't need any fancy brand for that. So you would put some of the water in, and you could use the baby oil or the vegetable oil in this one as well. Since we use the other oil, we'll use the vegetable oil this time. So when they say oil and water don't mix, so you could do lots of activities. You could, talk about that, about how things, sorry about that. My hands are slippery from all the oils. You can talk, make it into a little science project about that. You could do float and sink, what kinds of things float and sink. You can see that in some of these activities as well. So I'm going to keep this clearer so we can see when we put here's some little silver sparklies, and we'll use some colored ones. Okay, now we're going to drop in. All right, so I'm going to see that how it's starting to disintegrate at the bottom. And if you put it near light, it looks like an old-fashioned lava lamp. You can see how it's starting to break up and come to the, it's kind of cool to look at how it dissolves. So just a few ideas of some fun, inexpensive sensory bottles that you can make at home. Thank you for sharing with us today. Stay safe, everyone.